Find your commoner. What did that do? Oh. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Oh, hello. She's awfully regal, isn't she?
Is that your owl?
I don't know who she is. Likely one of the Hufflepuffs around here. Owls choose their own company anyway. Wait, you're the new 5th year. Quite the dramatic entrance you made. Can't imagine wanting to call attention to yourself, especially since everyone will be watching to see how much you already know.
I'm really not worried. I'm sure I'll be fine.
Nevertheless, it is rather unusual. You must feel terribly out of place. Of course, presumably, as a hard-working Hufflepuff, you'll prove yourself in no time. I'm hard-working too, as you might suspect. But sometimes I think I should have been a Ravenclaw. I've rather a searing wit. At least people have always told me so. I'm Lenora, by the way. Lenora Everly. Well, mustn't keep you.
Lenora
You've
Everly.
such a lot to do.
Probably not gonna like her.
It was nice meeting you, Lenora.
Of course. Adieu.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not gonna like her. Not gonna lie.
Arthur's got
You don't need to be
It's all right.
frightened, little cat.
I can't quite reach.
Come on, you went that way.
Hope they can catch him. Big castle for a student to get lost in, let alone a cat. I'm sure you'll find your way all right. I mean, it can be a bit overwhelming at first. I still get lost sometimes.
I'll get lost a lot, watch.
Welcome to Hufflepuff, by the way. Really glad to have you in our house. I'm Arthur.
Thank you.
I'm a yellow one today.
Nice to meet you. Was that your cat?
No, one of the first years, I think. Don't have any pets of my own, unfortunately. My mother doesn't think too highly of them, especially magical ones.
I'm sorry to hear that. I think magical beasts are rather incredible.
Best thing about coming to Hogwarts. Nifflers, Glumbumbles, Bowtruckles. I thought they were only pictures in books before.
Nifflers?
Well, Dad
What?
did bring home a Puffskein once. Mum was furious.
Puffskein?
Anyway, I better go make sure the first years caught that cat. Don't want them to be late on their first day.
Nice meeting you, Arthur. And good luck finding that cat.
Thank you. Try not to get lost in the castle yourself.
Abu Dhabi. Will not get lost.
Oh, Uncle, this doesn't sound like you. Something's wrong. Oh, hello there. You're the new Hufflepuff, yes? I'm Adelaide. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Is everything all right?
Oh, yes. I'm just a bit distracted. Letter from my uncle. So tell me, I've been hearing all sorts of rumors. Were you really nearly gobbled up by a dragon?
That one is true. Not the typical start to a new school.
That's dreadful. Well, I'm glad you made it here alive. Well,
Dreadful.
anyway, I imagine you have lots to do. I hope you have a wonderful first day.
Thank you, Adelaide. Be seeing you.
Of course, and good luck.
Is the new Hufflepuff out of bed yet? Professor Weasley's waiting for them outside the common room.
Good morning. I trust you're ready for your first day at Hogwarts?
I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here.
Well, you are here. Make the most of it. You only have one first day at Hogwarts. Now, in light of your unique situation, joining us as a 5th year, you'll need to catch up with your classmates and not fall behind. Especially as you'll be expected to complete your OWLs at the end of the year.
OWLs? Owls?
Yes, your ordinary wizarding level exams. They will determine what type of career you can have when you leave here. After much discussion with the headmaster and the Department of Magical Education at the Ministry, We've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success. Here you are.
What is this? This is my diary. Fancy.
What is it?
It is a wizard's field guide. It will help you to keep track of what you are learning so that you master all that's expected of a 5th year. You would be wise to take full advantage of this exceptionally valuable resource.
Duly noted.
Thank you, Professor, but what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning?
Perhaps seeing it in action will answer any questions you may have. Walk with me and we shall put it to the test. This way. The guide will give you opportunities to practice your magic and educate yourself about wizarding lore. I certainly would have appreciated something like the field guide when I was a student. Using the guide will also train you to be alert to your surroundings. Do keep up. Simply cast Revelio on it, and we'll see what the guide says.
Revelio.
House Elf recipe book. It contains some of House Elf recipe. Students' favorite recipes. Pickled plums. Still like the Field Guide challenge. Experience points. Okay. Okay, this is your wizarding level. Experience from challenges increases your level and power. Okay. Challenges you unlock the regular adventure will appear here. Select field guide pages to continue. Okay. These challenges tiers. Special rewards unlock at each tier you complete. From appearances to critical upgrades. Okay. Rewards must be claimed from challenges menu. Come back often to collect rewards you have unlocked. Okay.
Clever, isn't it? Keep your eyes open for more opportunities like that, inside and outside of the castle.
Revelio.
Good timing. Perfect opportunity to show you how to use flue flames to get around a bit quicker.
Ooh.
Your field guide contains a map of the castle. Open it up and find Central Hall.
Open map. Two main areas on the side of the map is where the students and professors live, because the house comes to the Great Hall. Select the Great Hall region to continue. So you can see the flue flames available in that region. You have discovered, including your own house common room, with the location of undiscovered flames. Academic points of interest including the astronomy tower, library, and greenhouses. The library annexation region. Okay. Professor Weasley has unlocked the central hall flue flames for you. Okay. So it's just a fast travel system. Nice.
And here we are. Quite the time saver. These stairs lead directly to Central Hall. You can get almost anywhere in the castle quickly from Central Hall.
Okay.
Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive. Our King's Cross station, so to speak. That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class?
Defense Against the Dark Arts, as the name implies, focuses on how to defend oneself against the evils that lurk beyond these walls. A mastery of Defense Against the Dark Arts is required for those who aspire to become Aurors. Fortunately, we are lucky to have the ever-gifted Professor Hecat in charge of our students' education in that regard.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
He did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
I'm sorry, Professor, but I'm afraid that's all there is to it.
Almost precisely what Professor Fig said. Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. Perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank you. Good luck today. And remember to use your field guide. It will be invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain more about those assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those supplies.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you masterfully evade Professor Weasley's interrogation regarding our late arrival?
I did my best, but I'm fairly certain she suspects that we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Well, of course she does.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And she may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
It's a main quest. Complete main quest will further the story, unlocking new features and grant XP. Some quests are locked by spell or level requirements. In these cases, you will need to be required level in order to require spell to activate the quest. And now new spells can be earned by completing professor's assignments. Here's quest rewards. Let's track that.
The map is enchanted to help you find your way.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Noted. It's the new quest. Two big quests, okay. See what new gear we've got. Oh, we've got gloves. Definitely don't like that hat. Not a fan. There we go. Defense against the Dark Arts class. Field guide map shows professor. Class. Lost the scouts on me to use a charmed compass, the field guide to help me find the way. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, Flu Flame. There we go. The trans configuration. Defense against the Dark Arts class begins now.
Stay behind! Is that all you've got?
Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it.
Touché.
Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Like that was nice. Quick driver's seat.
Levioso.
Now, let's try something a little larger.
Oh, let's get it.
Let us begin with the basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast?
Yeah.
This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, a surprised opponent is a weak opponent.
Levioso!
Good. Well done.
Okay.
Very good. But the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
Levioso, take on me easy. Levioso, this can't be your first duel.
Let's just say I'm a quick learner.
Levioso, complicate things.
I do enjoy lively duel.
He didn't want it. He
Not
didn't want
bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
it. Oh, he mad. He's big mad.
I put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Hufflepuff.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it. A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well
Gladly
done
continue to
today.
practice.
I shall reach out soon with additional assignments. All right, that's enough spectacle for one day. Class,
Nice work.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was
Yeah,
certainly good
poor for you.
practice.
Practice. It felt more like I was dueling an expert. Sebastian Sallow, by the way. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
What route should I go? Let's go.
In fact, it was. Perhaps I have a knack for it.
Be coy if you like, but I know better. Magic requires intention and talent. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Unsanctioned? I don't know. School rules are in place for a reason.
Yes, to keep students in the dark. So many things we're deemed unprepared to know. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club, or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck or actual skill. Look for
Dude's
Luke and
wild
Brattleby
with
near
this
the clock tower
unsanctioned stuff.
entrance. If you're interested.
Yikes.
Till next time.
Come on, dude. What is this? Oh, yeah, later. First class student. Attend your first class.
Years I've been hearing this, and I've truly had enough. I simply cannot be with you any longer.
I promise. It was an accident.
Professor Ronan tends to go on a bit. We sometimes have to remind him.
Alright, we got charms classed. Class.
Here, behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin? Welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work. But I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone? Anyone? I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
Learning new spells, let's do that.
Accio!
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as you all seem to have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air.
I remember in school sometimes they would take us outside if the weather was nice. They'd teach a class outside. Those were the fun days. Next to the TV getting rolled in.
I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree. So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right?
Alright, so I'm just gonna, build something here.
So why don't we have our newest student start us off?
Let's see, what are we doing here? So 50
Very
points.
simply,
Okay,
cast
charm.
Accio on one of the spheres and relinquish your charm at the last possible moment. Now, think of this like gobstones, if you will. But instead of throwing the marbles out, you are summoning them toward you. The trick is to pull the sphere as far as possible, but not a bit more, or it'll fall, yes? Now, I could keep talking about theory all day, but practice is the best professor. Very good. Happens to the best of us.
Okay.
Splendid! Not to worry. Excellent control there.
Do I just have to release RT? It was terrible.
Very good. Points to Hufflepuff. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up.
It's go time.
You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Alright.
What's this? That is how it's done.
Dude, she's really about to sit here and hit me with 50 bombs all the time. Huh?
Don't lose your composure.
Let us see this. There we go. Keep trying. Here we go. Yes!
Accio.
Very good.
It's terrible. What are you talking about?
Let us make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
Can I get a rematch? Bruh.
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
Be sharp.
What?
That is how it's done.
I could have done it right there, but we're gonna pull it right.
Accio.
No. Give me the 50.
Splendid.
Let's go.
What's this?
Respect.
Phew.
Okay.
Well done.
So that knocks her in. Okay.
Let us see this. Yes!
Accio.
Excellent control there.
I hit hers in the 50, which got me that, but...
Very good, both of you. Well done. Class is dismissed. Gather your things on the way out.
A tight game. It turns out we were evenly matched. Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
That's good to hear. It's a lot to take in all at once.
To put it lightly, I remember how I felt when I first arrived. I transferred here from Wagadu just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
Well, it's been nice talking and competing with you.
And with you. Ah, I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
Of course, you can use Accio on humans, if you're so inclined.
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation?
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? And what a close match between you and Miss Onai. Invigorating.
Thank you, Professor. I enjoyed the match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
Get it. Special assignments.
Hello there. You're the new student, aren't you?
What are you up to now?
The werewolves joined the goblins in the uptime.
Werewolves? Where were you? In the
Oh, good.
rebellion of 1750?
And by the end of it, the minister was Albert Boot.
Is that not the map? Okay, there we go. I was like,
No, it wasn't.
Oh, what fun! I won't say my goodbyes. I shall cheer for the boys.
the amount of stairs in this place.
Hogwarts has brought me and my siblings.
Beautiful campus thus far.
What about the room, Professor?
Oh,
I was
it's a
thinking
knockoff
the
Dobby.
same thing, Deke. Perhaps you could help.
Oh, excuse, Deke.
Ah, there you are. I trust your first classes went well?
They did, Professor.
I heard as much from Professors Hecat and Ronan. Seems Professor Fig taught you quite a bit before you arrived. I'd wager there's a good deal more to your travels here than what you've told me. Isn't there?
Nothing more, Professor.
I see. Like trying to get a sonnet from a streeler. Regardless, you must continue to build upon what you've learned. In that regard, I've asked your professors to help hasten your progress with some extra assignments.
Professor Ronan did mention something about that.
In fact, Professor Ronan will meet you outside momentarily to assign your first one. Now, regarding the trip to Hogsmeade I mentioned earlier, we've arranged to replace the supplies lost on your way here, including seeds, potion recipes, and spellcrafts.
Thank you, Professor.
And Mr. Ollivander will connect you with the perfect wand. You've managed your classes well with a borrowed wand, but you'll find the magic you cast with your own wand to be far superior.
I've never heard of a spellcraft before, Professor. What is it?
A spellcraft is a recipe of sorts used when conjuring objects. I shall explain more about them when you begin working with transfiguration magic.
I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade.
Very well. I'd like you to make your first visit to the village with a classmate. Help you get your bearings. Perhaps Sebastian Sallow or Natsai Onai. I've noticed you spending time with them.
I'd like to go with Natty.
Excellent choice. Miss Onai is one of our most talented students. And she knows the area. She'll keep you well clear of any of Victor Rookwood's undesirables en route.
Rookwood?
A rather unsavory local. Best to avoid him and his associates, including his right hand of sorts, Theophilus Harlow, if you can. Once you've finished Professor Ronan's assignment, your friend will meet you at the castle doors. No time to waste. The sooner you complete your work, the sooner you can enjoy a butterbeer at the Three Broomsticks.
Butterbeer?